Patriots football is returning on Thursday when New England hosts the Washington football team. And even though this game isn't going to count towards the standings, it's an early opportunity for Patriots fans to see what this team has. Hello everybody, my name is Ray Rout and welcome to the Patriots News Desk, brought to you by Dear Pats Nation. In today's video, we're going to take a spin across the New England and Washington media to see what they're saying about Thursday's game. A staff writer for Patriots.com wrote, "The New England Patriots will open the 2021 preseason against the Washington football team and play in front of Gillette Stadium fans for the first time since the 2019 postseason when they faced the Tennessee Titans in the AFC wildcard game on January 4th, 2020. The NFL did not play a preseason last year, and the Patriots did not have fans in the stands in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Patriots will face Washington in the preseason for the 23rd time, tying the Philadelphia Eagles for the second most frequent preseason opponent. The Patriots have faced the New York Giants 29. The Giants and Eagles are the Patriots' other 2021 preseason opponents." Adam Weinreb of Fansided gets us ready for Thursday's game by saying, "It's actually kind of, sort of, nearly time to get excited for the return of Patriots football. Don't expect to see too much run from New England's first teamers in this one, especially considering notoriously stingy Bill Belichick doesn't want the league to get any longer look than they have to of what he's cooking up with so much new personnel this year. Both Belichick and Ron Rivera have been in the NFL for a long time. They faced off against each other a few times in the past, and though both men may be ultra competitive on the field, there is a lot of respect between the two coaches." NBC Sports Washington wrote, "Belichick looks forward to facing Ron Rivera's hard-nosed defense." Although Belichick is yet to face a Rivera-led Washington team, the longtime New England head coach expects the burgundy and gold to come out with the same toughness and style that defined Rivera's Carolina Panthers squad. Quote, "Obviously a good football team, well coached," Belichick told reporters on Tuesday. Coach Rivera always did a good job. He did a good job in Carolina and had some success last year in Washington. I think he does a good job having a good, some sound fundamental team. They're tough and physical, so this is a good opportunity." Belichick went on to say that he always liked playing Rivera-led teams in the preseason, as the Washington coach does a good job having his team prepared and fundamentally sound. The Spun says that Ron Rivera names the best things about Bill Belichick. During his media session at training camp on Tuesday, the Washington football team head coach complimented Belichick for always being himself no matter how his team is performing. He also expressed how excited he is to watch the Patriots rebuild under their coach's leadership. Quote, "The best thing about Coach is there are no apologies for who he is," Rivera said about Belichick, per Nick Jabalva of the Washington Post. "He's true to form. I enjoy watching him. They were a dynasty, basically, and now they're rebuilding, and it's going to be fun to watch," end quote. Rivera and Belichick have both been around the NFL for the last few decades, so this isn't the first time they've traded niceties. After Rivera was fired by Carolina Panthers back in 2019, he spoke about how he tried to emulate some aspects of Belichick's coaching style. Quote, "I've tried to pay attention to what Bill Belichick has done and how slowly transition guys out and transition guys into being the new core guys," Rivera told NBC Peter King in 2019. Quote, "That's what he's done tremendously well." Week 1 of the preseason normally doesn't give fans a lot of opportunity to see star players actually play. However, the preseason being cut down from 4 games to 3 games, fans should expect to see some starters playing Thursday night, including Washington quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. Michael Hurley of CBS Boston wrote, "Some preseason Fitzmagic is coming to Foxboro this week." Washington head coach Ron Rivera announced this week that his starters will play on Thursday night against the Patriots for both teams' preseason opener. That, of course, means one thing. It's Fitzmagic time in Foxboro. While Belichick and the Patriots won't be game planning against Fitzpatrick and Washington offense like they would in a regular season game, Belichick nevertheless laid out all the ways that Fitzpatrick remains dangerous as an opposing quarterback. Quote, "Ryan's had a tremendous career," Belichick said. "Certainly, he's always been a tough guy for us to play against. He's smart, he's very aggressive, resourceful, and very tough. You see him block guys downfield and, put his head down and fight for extra yards and do some of the things a lot of quarterbacks wouldn't do. He's competitive, he's resilient, and he does a good job using the weapons that he has and getting them involved, getting them the ball. And when things break down, he's athletic and experienced enough to still make some good plays in those situations. So he's a tough guy to play against." Now, not directly linked to the Patriots game against Washington is the roster battle in New England. Fringe and bubble players will try to prove themselves and show coaching staff that they deserve a spot on the team. Alex Barth of 98.5 The Sports Hub said, "How many Patriots roster spots are truly up for grabs?" There's an old Bill Belichick quote, "It's not about collecting talent, it's about building a team," which becomes especially relevant this time of year. While it may be easy to think that just the best 53 players will make the team, that rarely ends up being the case. As training camp rolls on and roster battles continue to take shape, it's important to remember that those battles are not always between two players at the same position competing head-to-head. In reality, there's a pool of 12 to 15 players all competing indirectly against each other for those at-large spots. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Patriots News Desk. My name is Ray Rout. Make sure you tune in every day to get all of your up-to-date Patriots news.